Hello, my name is Mitch and I draw Blood Force, and it is too damn hot for this shit. But we're going to press on anyway, and we're going to revisit WildCATS number 5 today. And if you like the Blood Force channel, please feel free to open up the description, click on the link there that takes you to my Patreon, and just check that out. And that's where all of these videos go before I upload them to YouTube. That's where all the Blood Force pages go. That's all the behind-the-scenes stuff. If you like that kind of stuff, that's worth dropping a couple of bucks on. But what's the deal with WildCATS number 5? Why is this worth talking about? Now, to be clear, I don't remember saying that it was. There's a couple of things that are worth talking about. First things first, the date. This is November of '93. Last issue of WildCATS came out in March. So there was a, 8-month-long layover there. I know there was a sabbatical of some kind where Jim Lee, I believe, had his first kid. I'm not sure if that was in between 3 and 5, though, or between 7 and 8. Yeah, it doesn't look like it was 7 and 8 there, so I think this is it. There were 1 or 2 sabbaticals, though. And so this is the biggest gap we've seen between Jim Lee comic pages since he quit working on X-Men to work on WildCATS, I would say. So what's he coming back with? Well, I mean, this is a decent cover. You know, it's probably it might be the best one so far, really. Depends how much you like the shinies. If you think WildCATS number 2 outweighs it, I don't think so, really. This was a bit better composed. Something about the colors doesn't ring quite right, though. Everything looks too light. And so all these guys in the background feel like they don't have the right weight to them. We should find out who's doing the colors on this thing. This is Joe Chiodo. Well, Joe Chiodo likes his pastels, as I've said before. Yeah, it just doesn't look quite like WildCATS, but I mean, you know, it's fine. And it's been 8 months. What do you know? You don't know what WildCATS looks like anymore. You're just thinking you know what WildCATS looks like. So, looking at the cast of characters, this is pretty much everything we would expect. So, Jim Lee and Brandon Choi do the story. Jim Lee does the pencils. Scott Williams does the inks. That's tradition. Joe Chiodo doing the colors. Chris Iliopoulos doing the letters. They seem to be running out of letterers around this time. And this is the Killer Instinct prologue for WildCATS. So, if you'll recall, this is the first big team-up between... is it Wildstorm at this point? I don't think it is. I think it's still Homage. And Top Cow. This is Cyber Force meets WildCATS. It's good stuff. And so we're going to start off with Grifter and Zealot flying in to infiltrate some sort of headquarters. And get ready for this. This is why we're backed up so far, in case you're wondering. There's a few of these. And I don't know that there's any real reason for it, other than Jim Lee's back, and he's making a bang, and he wants, you know, he just kind of wants it to be special. I don't know. Interesting page layouts here. There's a period after J. Scott Campbell's been working for a few months, where Jim Lee starts to take on the Campbellisms. I think that is after issue 8, though. This is just... it just seems to be he's trying out some new stuff. Could be picking up a couple of things from Jay Lee. Potentially. So, no reason to read all this junk. Grifter and Zealot are gonna, you know, they're gonna hang glide in. Okay, why not? And just shoot through the windows. Okay. It seems like they were going for stealth here, but I guess this is the only way to approach. And so this installation is manned by these hunter-killer droid things. So everything looks fine so far. This face must have been huge to draw. There's so few lines on it, too. But yeah, no, that looks great. And then we get more gatefold. That's not all of it. There we go. And I can just about get it on the screen here. So, I mean, I don't know, again, that there's any reason to read any of this stuff. They're basically just explaining what these hunter-killer droids are. I mean, we get it, they're putties. You want, you know, you want to be able to have some bad guys that you can kill without eliminating, you know, proper villains from your rogues gallery. So, and, you know, you get this big shot. I'd like to say it looks nice. I don't know. There's not a lot going on. You know, I mean, Zealot looks fucking massive, of course. And, you know, these guys here, like, this was a whole page here, eh? And there's no backgrounds, no speed lines. Like, everything's proportional, and that's a skill in itself. Being able to keep the proportions at this gigantic scale. Like, there's no... I don't know. There's not a ton of awesomeness to this, I don't think. It feels like there should be more. I mean, there is, to some extent, in that, when the fuck have you ever even seen this? But, yeah. And then we're going to cut to just regular pages on a triple gatefold, which is weird. This feels like a lot. And they're just taking out more of these HKs. Oh, we get some boom, there it is. As I think this was right around the time. When did Whoop, there it is come out? Yep, 93, right about this time. I assume they changed it to boom, there it is, because they thought it was cooler, or to avoid copyright infringement, maybe. I know Grifter hates copyright infringement. He's not having any truck with that. And, yep. Not a great shot there. I guess that's fun. That's okay. And this is like the big centerpiece. Is her throwing her weird fucking scarab legs at dudes. And, oh, boom, there it is again. Let's see if we can find number 3. Comedy comes in threes. Okay, this is a nice shot. He feels like he's slacking with his wall a little bit, but that's okay. And they get discovered by different kinds of putties. These are more robot putties. So I guess we decided definitively they're putties, not foot soldiers, not Cobra soldiers, not what else would there be? The droids out of Phantom Menace. Stormtroopers. Stormtroopers is a good one. They're putties. I did always like this shot. Even if you can't really see his feet. Can you see his feet? Let's hear a boom, there it is for your feet. There's one. Okay, good enough, I guess. They're getting shot at. This doesn't feel fluid, but it's fine. Gotta love all this criticism of Jim Lee. Like, you can't draw this shit. What the fuck? This hand always felt super awkward. But although I think he's having to squeeze it in for the page. That's tough. This is trying to steal a trick out of Will Sportacio's book. These panel borders. Going super sloppy to try and get it looking kinetic. That looks a little insincere to me. Okay, and so he's at some sort of vault. He got his money's worth from Cyberjack. Oh, we're at bingo now. Not boom, there it is. Fuck, we've evolved. And a thing, like a vault, a vault thing, sure. I've drawn this thing. Or a variation on this. I don't know what the fuck all this is supposed to be. Circuitry, maybe? I don't know. So this is Kaizen Gamora. His vault, apparently. So I think they're on Gamora Island. Did they say that already? I don't know that they did specifically. I mean, they might have. I don't think they did, but they might have. So that's Kaizen Gamora, who's the first real big bad, I guess, that they had in WildCATS after Hellspawn. I believe Hellspawn does return at some point, but good shot. Good, always good to get the speed lines in there. Again, more Portatio. And he's got some sort of energy shield. I remember trying to draw something like this, and not even really coming anywhere close. But liking just something about this aesthetic. He will repeat this aesthetic for the Claremont issues, of course. And there's nothing in the dossier about him being a parahuman. Aren't they SPBs here? I think they are. And so this is Misery, who was a part of, let's see, back in Cyberforce number 0. That would have been the first time we heard anything about her, I believe. And she was part of Cyberforce 0, I suppose, with Warblade, and I don't think Ripclaw was in there. Although he should have been, according to this, I believe. But whatever. And so Grifter's senses aren't registering a life force from either of them. And I believe that comes back. And get a little fight here. How's Jim Lee with the fighting? Here's the thing. I mean, something I've been trying to step up my game in personally in my comics is trying to get the fights more interesting and more a sequence of events. And so you notice when you read like some Liefeld stuff, that shit don't happen. It's just gigantic swings. Oh my god, punch. Oh my god, punch. Now you punch. Oh, I got punched. You know? And, yeah, is Jim Lee any better at it? This is... I mean, it doesn't make any sense, really. If you're thinking about it from, like, even from, like, an animation kind of standpoint. She leaps past him. Unless he does, like, a full 360 and swings the leg around. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. But, and I worry about that shit in mine. Maybe I shouldn't worry so much about it. This is all... Like, there's nothing here. We don't even know anything about who Misery is from Grifter's point of view. Yeah, that's right. She had the telepathy, mind control kind of thing. It doesn't seem to work too well on Grifter, though. And we can see Void, of course, teleporting in. Let's see how long I remember to call her that. Good shot here. Kind of standard for Jim. I wonder what this was supposed to be. I mean, it's got kind of a Union feel. Union's already come out at this point, I believe. But there's some gigantic hands. But we're well before Madurira, so that's not the source of it. And heavy blacks. I wonder if it's just that it felt like it was redundant now that he had Union? Because I don't think this ever turned into anything. I think this is the only thing about Rival that ever existed. Yeah, I can't find much of anything. I could be wrong, but... Okay, yeah. I think we know it's coming now. This has been advertised for a while. First ever Homage Studios crossover, yep. And really just because they both got Wolverine claws. You know, they should do a crossover. And then the rest of the Stormwatch team shows up to save Grifter's ass. Come on, give me a boom, there it is. Nowhere? Ah. No, we get about friggin' time. And again, this color doesn't feel right for this. This feels like the cartoon. There's not a lot of shadow going on, and it feels like just the fidelity on the colors has been turned up. And so Voodoo is doing her thing to, like, exercise Daemonites, and apparently he's got a Daemonite in him. And that's just fucking weird. And it looks like his torso completely disappeared. And apparently she was not prepared to deal with the Daemonite once the Daemonite appeared. But luckily there's Spartan there, so that she can damsel in distress at him. That wasn't very well thought out, I gotta say. And now we're going to get some Misery versus Maul. And she tries to do the mind control thing on him, but he's big enough where his brain is too small to control, apparently. Okay. I don't know if that really works, but sure. And so now we get Misery versus Warblade, and they're the two that know each other from before. And this is no... This time, whenever you read this, it always looks like no with the multiple O's. And he's going to make her pay for what she's done. Do we have any cuts? Oh, we got some cuts here. Okay, so the blood's not just spontaneously appearing out of nowhere. That's good. And so Zealot's still fighting these fucking robot putties from the beginning. Is that where you've been all this time? That's appalling. That's what that is. It's totally appalling. So Spartan's going to jack into the system here. Let's see. Oh, it's not Kaizen Gamora. Isn't it? He looks like Kaizen Gamora from later. I guess the Kaizen Gamora doesn't have the eye patch. So it's just a dude with a monocle. Alright. My bad. So yeah, of course patches in via the eye because that looks weird. And, okay, Richtofen's new Baizi system. Baizi is these HK killer things. And they're based on his own COS-7 pattern. COS, Cybernetic Operating Systems. I believe it's later put in that Spartan is a Carabim android. So, interesting to see what they're going to be ignoring later. So he's got his hands on some of his own source cells, and he's going to be producing his own versions. And we've got a dude and a girl who don't register to Grifter as life forms. Okay. Yeah. So we got to destroy all this stuff. Can't leave the stuff for other people to use the stuff. This is a nice shot. It is silly. Like, this is like Naruto running. Oh. And they're still going at it here. Oh, that's a nice angle, actually, with the swing. Yeah, that works. And then Maul rescues Warblade. Sure. And this is, of course, the first time we're really hearing that there's any kind of link between the two, unless you read Cyberforce number 0, which a bunch of people did. So, you know, you probably checked it. Yeah, this all looks like the cartoon. It's weird. And so just when they're about to teleport out of there, Misery taunts Warblade one more time. He's got to leap after her because he's an idiot. And we got another one of these. 4-page dealies. Again, not a ton of detail. It looks very similar to the one previously with Zealot and Grifter, where it's really just the two big bodies and no backgrounds and a little bit of debris flying around them. Looks good. I mean, like, it's a great, like, poster almost on its own. So what is it? Are they linked? Yeah, they are too. That'd be weird to get these pages. Like, that's that one. And then that is linked to that. You imagine if they did the Stormwatch thing? Stormwatch number 2, where they they got the adjustment wrong. Oh, would have been some heads rolling. And they're just gonna hack hell out of each other while the base is getting ready to melt down. All that shit, the regular shit. And oh, the base blew up. Yep. And how many words were in that? We barely read any of them. We didn't get a third boom. There it is, though. I mean, we got kaboom. That's something, I suppose. But yeah, that's quite a lot of dialogue. I'm sure I tried to read it at some point. I'm done with that. Okay, and that's about it. Now, Wizard number 28 coming out soon. Look out for that. Alright, so that's it for WildCATS number 5. Did it set up much? I mean, they went to a place, to a facility, and they found people that Warblade was linked to. I mean, eventually, again, I'm going to be doing this kind of stuff, so it's interesting to pay attention to it and see how it was done by guys who are regarded very highly for doing this kind of thing. And all they did, they went to a place, and, Misery shows up, and she's like, hey, you remember me? And they're like, oh, I do! We must fight! And then they fought, and then they kind of blew up together. And that was kind of it. For 20 pages. Was it 20 pages? Hard to tell, right? How many drawn pages? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. That's not bad for Jim. They're not, the highest detail that he's ever thrown out there or anything. But, I mean, if Jim Lee decided to cut back a little bit on the detail and to get pages out, or to either get pages out more often or get more pages out, I don't think anybody would have complained too much. But, yeah, so that is going to do it for this one. So, in case you couldn't guess, this is the point of the focus this week for revisits, is the Killer Instinct crossover. So, next time we're going to be looking at Cyberforce number 1. Not that number 1, the other number 1. Always fun, the way they have to do that. But, yeah, thanks very much for watching. If you like this video, please hit like, hit subscribe, hit the notifications. Go follow me on Twitter. Or if I'm on another one, I might be on another one by now. Twitter kind of sucks. But you know what? It doesn't matter, because the most important thing is to go over to my Patreon and hit subscribe there. That's where all of these videos go before they get uploaded to YouTube, usually a week or so in advance. That's also where all the Blood Force stuff goes, pages, and process stuff, and any Patreon exclusives. So well worth checking out. But yeah, thanks again for watching this one. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.